Hey peeps, we are back. We are talking the Real Housewives of Orange County, Season 16, Episode 8. Hey, before we get into the video, please do me the honors of subscribing to my channel, hitting the notification bell so you can always be notified when I post new content, hitting the thumbs up because that does wonders for my channel, and share. Thanks. So the show picks up right where we left off. The ladies are still at dinner. Emily is drunk Emily right now. She is so drunk she brings up to Shannon, has Shannon and John ever thought about having a threesome? Shannon, who I agree with, says no, absolutely not. Although they have discussed it, they both decided that a threesome is not required for their relationship. A threesome is not needed, and they both felt that bringing a third person into the relationship could be damaging. And I have to agree with her 100%. I think bringing a third person into a relationship could cause a lot of hurt and harm. Personally, for myself, I don't think that I'm mature enough to be in a relationship with a third party. I'm really not. My maturity level is just that low. So then after that, Shannon makes this comment that when John is not having dinner with her and her family, he goes out to dinner because he's a single guy. And Gina makes this comment that he's not single. He's not single. He's in a committed relationship. Well, personally, I don't agree with that. I think that John is still single. And I think that Shannon is single too. When you go to fill out an application for anything, a home, a job, anything, they say single, married, or widowed. There's no place that says I'm in a committed relationship. If you are not married, if you are not at least engaged, wearing a ring on your finger, you are single, in my opinion. Get down in the comments and let me know what you think.
Sorry.
That with
Jansen? They were asking you?
no, she was. Emily and Gina kind of do go down like 10 IQ points when they're hanging out together. They're gonna act like children, ladies. Then
We're not acting like children.
you're being offensive. I'm being offensive.
But don't call us children.
So listen, I have to agree with Noella here. Gina and Emily, they were coming off as extremely childish. To me, it doesn't seem as if Gina and Emily are truly friends with Noella. They just want to keep Noella close so that they can be in her business and spread it around the OC. Gina also seemed to come off as a little jealous of Noella's friendship with Shannon. Gina is always saying how untrustworthy Shannon is, but to tell you the truth, after this particular season, I would trust Shannon before I would trust Gina. Gina and Emily both told Shannon that they would not mention the story about Nicole. However, they both went out and talked about it to Heather and others. So I'm trusting Shannon right now. This is really weird. I feel like I'm in an alternate universe. When did I become Team Shannon? I have no idea. But I'm telling you peeps, this season, Shannon is really bringing it. I think that even though Noella is all over the place, I think that she is also bringing it this season. As far as entertainment value, I am totally entertained. Do I think that she is too much and over the top and really trying to hold on to this orange? Absolutely. But if I was in her position, I would be trying to hold on to my orange as well. Would I be doing it the same way? Most likely not, but still, you know, she's a single mom of two now. She needs to hold on to her Real Housewives money. I'm just saying. Speaking of just saying, I've got some alleged gossip, some alleged tea, so get your teacups ready. So, one of the blogs that I follow, Bravo Obsessed, posted and they said, I knew there was more to the scene between Nicole James and Heather and Terry Dubrow. Thoughts all alleged. And it looks like it was a email that was received by Bravo and Cocktails, which is another blog. And the subject line says, Nicole James did receive a payout. And then it says, spill it. I am a close acquaintance of Nicole and she lied. Was told to by Heather and Terry. She did in fact receive a settlement in the suit. I think the word in was missing, so I just added it, against Terry. This didn't fit Heather and Terry's storyline, so they made her say that it was dropped. So this next sentence, I think a word should be removed, so I'm just going to read it like it was posted. That scene when it all unfolded at Heather's went 6 hours over until the storyline was just right. Now, honey, listen, as I said in the beginning and as I'm saying now, all of this is absolutely alleged. I don't know if this is true, but I have seen this many places. And in my opinion, I think it might absolutely be true. And if I really, really cared, I would probably do a little more searching online to find some information regarding this lawsuit to see if it's public or not. But I don't care that much about Heather or Terry or Nicole. So moving on, I do believe that they were being extremely childish. You know, Gina doing everything she can to interrupt Noella from having this conversation that she wants to have with Shannon, and Emily jumping right in there with her, Shannon in her meditation arms, Gina screaming, chakra, chakra. I mean, what about that is grown up and appropriate at dinner? They are in an actual public restaurant. It's just ridiculous. In the middle of all this dumbness, drunk Emily decides that she's going to leave. So she gets all upset and tells Shannon and Noella that they're being offensive and she didn't appreciate them calling them childish. So the next thing you know, you've got Gina trying to tell Noella pretty much how to act, how she should act. And you know what, Gina, you should also learn how to be appropriate. Your behavior, Emily's behavior, was just as ridiculous as Noella's. Noella's was a little more loud and obnoxious, but that's the pot calling the kettle black. All three of you should have shut up and ate your food. One thing I do have to say is the only people that can be responsible for your actions as a grown-up is you. You cannot blame Noella for the way you and Emily behaved. Noella cannot blame you and Emily for the way that she behaved. Let it go. You're all sitting there making complete fools of yourself at dinner.
It's hard to open this. Oh, my nail. This nose picker. Look at that nose.
Now listen, these women are grown and they can never work this door. This is the same door. You are on day 3 or 4 and we are still having trouble opening and closing this door. I am just shocked. So it turns out that Heather's friend Tawny is in town, and Heather wants us to know that Tawny is staying at a fabulous hotel just down the beach. I said, yes, Heather, we know you're rich and all of your friends are rich. Everybody's fabulous. Girl, leave us alone. Emily, Gina, and Noella decide that they're going to a sweat lodge. And I said to myself, why in the hell would they go to a sweat lodge? They had all been drunk off of their butts the night before. They need to be somewhere in air conditioned and plenty of water. They need to be drinking a gallon of water, not at a sweat lodge. So listen, the ceremony is beautiful. I understand it, but it's still too hot. You know, through this ceremony, they are supposed to be relaxed. The ceremony is supposed to be them having a rebirth. They are supposed to be dealing with all of their biggest issues and asking themselves the biggest questions that they have in their life. And as I said before, why this is beautiful, it's hot. It starts out at 97 degrees. It ends up at 102 degrees when Noella has her incident. It's weird because later in the episode, you see the rest of the ladies on the bus with Heather say, Noella had a whole lot to drink the night before. I hope she doesn't pass out. And then she passes out.
It's okay. You're okay. You're okay.
I got you.
What happened? Pass out. Let's see.
I would much rather be with Heather and her pretentious fancy pants self than be stuck in this sweat lodge at 102 degrees. I really did feel bad that Noella passed out. You know, Gina was extremely emotional and crying. Emily was crying. I mean, I'm pretty sure that a sweat lodge is a good idea for some people, but I'm also pretty sure those people are well hydrated and well rested before they enter a sweat lodge. Gina said she didn't even know what a sweat lodge was. She thought that she was going to the spa. You know, they were all emotionally drained, especially Noella and Emily. And to be honest, I was drained emotionally just watching it. It looked like something that I would never want to do ever. At the end, when they got home, Emily and Gina were passed out in the bed, which is the same thing for me. I would have been passed out in the bed immediately after showering and drinking half a gallon of water. Now, Heather, Shannon, Jen, and her friend Tawny are out living the lifestyles of the rich and famous. I mean, I felt like Robin Leach when I said that. Anyway, Heather ends up taking them to view some real estate that she's interested in, either purchasing a home there or building a home there. This house that they saw was 26,000 square feet with 7 bedrooms, 7 bathrooms, and $13 million. The place was absolutely gorgeous. It was crazy how beautiful this place was. The views, the ocean, the pools, everything. It was gorgeous. And I did know that plastic surgeons made a lot of money, but I just didn't know that they made this kind of money. I mean, she just built that beautiful strip mall back in the OC. You know, this is a lot of money to me. Shannon says that she absolutely loved the house, but she prefers a much cozier, smaller space. And I said, yeah, Shannon, I understand it. I mean, I like my 3,500 square feet home that I have because that's what I can afford. But I do agree with Shannon that that house was ginormous. Shannon did say something that I thought was funny. She said the house tour in Cabo was way shorter than the house tour of Heather's house in California because Heather wanted to make sure that she let them know every single detail about her house. Heather goes on to do something that I think is absolutely tacky. I think making these ladies look at this land, this beachfront property, was her way of just letting them know how rich her and Terry are.
Let's call the boss. Too bad I don't have cleavage showing.
So 15 times 5, 7.5 plus 8 for the loss, 15.5?
Yeah.
To me, she was just flaunting her money in front of these people, and I think that it's tacky and it's annoying. I am really over Heather. It's times like this that I really wish Vicky and Tamara were back. Vicky, Tamara, and Shannon in Mexico is a really good time. Could you imagine Vicky, Tamara, and Noella? That is pure, crazy, funny entertainment. We can get rid of Gina and Emily and Jen. Jen is quite boring to me. One thing that I did feel bad about for Jen was she was out looking at the property with Shannon and Heather, and you know, she's going through her bone pain that she has, and she has to work out. For some reason, she didn't get to her workout until they got back to the house, which I'm not sure what happened. Maybe she woke up a little late and didn't get a chance to get in an early workout, but she was in constant pain the whole time, and I felt terrible for her. But I felt even worse for her later when she tries to get a little comfort from her husband, Ryan.
Cry, because it's been like since 9 o'clock this morning. I'm like kind of having a breakdown.
Okay, well, that's horrible.
Well, I know it's horrible. Can't handle it.
Make it better tomorrow.
To me, I think that Ryan is not there for her. He is not emotionally supportive of her. He's not financially supportive of her. And as far as I'm concerned, Ryan, he can go. What does she really need him for? She's the one who makes all the money. She is the one who pays for the nanny. All she needs is a chef. And she can get rid of Ryan. Ryan seems to not care about her, period. He's more into the children and into how he looks and how he feels than how she is feeling. Later in the episode, we do see her and Heather talking about her and Ryan's relationship. And she explains that all she really wants is attention, and she wants him to show her love and affection, which is what every wife wants. I think every husband wants that as well. You know, she did mention that he tells her that she doesn't spend enough time with him, and she says, well, she's working, she's seeing patients, you know, she's also coming home to be their accountant, you know, she's taking care of everything financially, and she just can't be in both places. I happen to agree with Heather when Heather says that, you know, you have to make time for the things that you love, for the people that you love. You've got to figure out a middle ground. But she also tells her that she needs to have a conversation with her husband. And I totally agree. When she gets back home to the OC, she really needs to sit him down and have the conversation as to what they both want and need out of this relationship. Make it clear that they can try to work on this. And if that doesn't work, then she can do bad by herself. She does not need Ryan. Seems to me that Ryan needs her. One of the things, if I was her, that I would say to Ryan is, I need you to get a job and put on a shirt. First of all. Second of all, if you don't want to be here with me, if you don't love me anymore, if you don't want to emotionally support me, then you can go on about your business. We can get divorced. We can figure out a 50-50 custody settlement situation, and you can go on. Because there's plenty of men in the world, and somebody's going to want to love me. Period. I'm just saying, I think that she deserves better. Am I totally off by this? Because I'm not married. I don't know what married people do. Let me know, you guys.
Are you flying in front of money?
Heather hasn't spoken to me about flights.
Yeah. Well, she didn't even want her to come. You had to talk her into it. Did you know that?
I think she just needs to get to know you more.
She needs to feel seen.
Could one person please tell me why these women are so terrified of Heather Dubrow?
Oh, right here I have to say, you know what, Emily? You knew exactly what you were doing. You knew exactly what you were doing. Gina had already told us in the last episode that she has not told Noella that she had to ask Heather to invite her. I don't buy the BS that she was just trying to let Noella know how Gina fought for her. And, you know, that was just really irritating and it was really childish. Emily knew exactly what she was doing. And then to further go on and explain to Noella how she needed to behave in front of Heather. And I agree with Noella 100%. You ladies need to stop being up Heather's butt. Why are you so afraid of Heather? I don't know if they're afraid of Heather or if they just like being in proximity to Heather's wealth. If they just love being around her so that they can get something that she has to offer, I have no idea.
My name is Emily Simpson, and I'm an asshole.
When I stand by that message, you are a complete asshole. That's just my opinion, and excuse my French. And Noella was right. Heather doesn't really like her very much because she knows that Noella is on to her BS. But at the same time, Heather doesn't like you that much, Noella, because you went around talking crap about her to everybody and you really didn't even know this.
Nutter butter?
Well, raise your hand if you've gone down on a woman.
No.
Raise your hand if a woman's gone down on you.
No.
Well then,
Whatever. I think that I have always known that Emily had some sort of connection to Gina. And the whole raise your hand if you, oh my gosh, the full nut of butter. Oh my God. Girls, grow up a little. So again, the ladies get all dressed up to have dinner at the house. Now I can tell you that it was absolutely beautiful. It really was. But I was thrown off a little bit when I found out they were having a tequila tasting. I said, is this a good idea? No, seriously, is this a good idea? You ladies, you do too much when you're sober. You really act a fool when you're drunk. There was a moment when Jen said that she wasn't surprised that Noella had passed out at the sweat lodge because she had done all that drinking the night before. I said, everybody knew that it was not a good idea for this lady to go to the sweat lodge. Why didn't anybody mention that to her? So they're at dinner, everything's going pretty well, and Shannon decides that she's going to talk to Noella about the night before. She wanted to know why Emily and Gina got so upset and stormed off, and wanted to know if they had discussed it, you know, Noella, Gina, and Emily. And Noella acts as if she doesn't really know what's going on. She's not really sure, but it's okay. And then for some reason, Shannon decides it's a good idea if they bring it up tonight at the table. And I said, well, why? Why? What producer put this batter in your bag? Shannon brings it up. Honey, listen, that caused a problem, didn't it? That brought it all out. It really started when Heather made the comment.
Literally this evening? Really? I don't know what to do.
Okay, well. Actually, it's a card. It's a card deck that I purchased on Amazon.
And it was inappropriate for a 17-year-old.
She just can't.
And listen.
How dare I not know that, like, your straight fragility when I'm purchasing
My
something
straight fragility? I have a couple of gay children. Don't tell me that I have straight fragility.
I am a bisexual, biracial, liberal freaking woman who lives in Orange County. Don't you dare tell me that I'm inappropriate.
No. I'm not saying
Don't you know,
you
no.
are
She's
inappropriate.
not saying you're inappropriate.
I'm
She's
saying your
the
gift was licking that right.
Oh my God.
Oh, tonight or something like that. And that set Noella off. Now, I am really sorry, but I'm so Team Heather for this. Noella, I appreciate that you wanted to get Max a gift. I appreciated that you wanted it to be a LGBTQ plus gift. I really do. However, when you're giving a gift to someone who is under the age of 18, you should always look at the parental advisory on the gift. You should always look to see the age appropriateness of the gift. And that's when you realize, maybe I can't give this gift to this little girl. I think that Heather absolutely has a right to be upset about Noella giving her this gift. I am really sorry that Noella didn't realize right from the very beginning that this was an inappropriate gift. And when Heather brought it up to her at the table, she should have said, I am so sorry. I should have looked. I should have checked. I didn't realize the cards were this explicit. Maybe she didn't realize the cards were inappropriate because Noella is also inappropriate. Noella right now at this time in her life, she is stressed. She is going through a lot. She is drinking a lot. She's coming off as a spoiled, annoying, obnoxious brat. Maybe she just didn't know. But at this point, it's a little exhausting. I'm not really sure what this game was, but a lot of people are speculating that it was that game, Cards Against Humanity. Let me just say, I have played that game once or twice. Okay, don't judge me. All right. And I can tell you that the very first time that I played, I wasn't ready. I really wasn't. The setting was all adults. So we were all at a bar. We were all having drinks, and somebody pulls out this deck of cards, and it was on from there. Okay, it was a lot. I would definitely not want my 17-year-old son or daughter playing Cards Against Humanity. And if they were, they definitely was not going to get the game from one of my friends or from one of my associates / cast member. Anyway, you guys, get down in the comments and let me know what you think. And until next time, bye.